You know, if you're trying to implement the gospel advancing stuff, it can be hard. And I think just being in a room with like-minded people,
It revolutionized some stuff at home, both in my own personal family and in my ministry.
Well, hey everyone, I'm Ben Phillips from Dare to Share. I'm sitting here with some friends. I got Nathan Smith, a youth leader, gospel advancing leader from Roswell, New Mexico, and Chris Selby from Multiply Ministries. We're going to coach gospel advancing leaders all over the country. And we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Gospel Advancing Summit that's coming up in April. And these guys are going to ask some questions. We're going to go through and just kind of answer them for you so that you can have an idea of what to look for and why it is that you should be there.
So, tell me, what exactly is the summit?
Okay, the summit is a gathering of gospel advancing leaders who are leading the charge in their communities, in their denominations, and whatever it is, coming together to influence, impact, and grow together. We want to see them come into this room ready to start thinking about a movement beyond just what they're doing and to realize that they're part of a movement that's much bigger, and then see the potential looking around their community at how much this could go out to reach every single teen within their cause turf. And so the whole goal of the summit is that they would be encouraged, empowered, and sent just truly as gospel advancing leaders to multiply into other leaders and to lead the charge in their community, their country, their city, wherever.
Hey, so I want to know, why do I want to go to the summit?
Why do you want to go to the summit? That's a good question. Here's the thing with the Gospel Advancing Summit. The whole point of this is to bring into the room not just like-minded people who are coming together, but people who understand what it is to be part of a gospel advancing movement, and not just to kind of take first steps in it, but this is people that are going, I want to be leading this movement, leading the charge, leading the drive across the country and honestly around the world as we see the movement break out from just our youth rooms into our communities, into our cities, and across our country here. And so this is kind of like a fire starter for that, the catalyst kind of event that helps us to grow through that, through different trainings and breakouts and all sorts of stuff that help us grow in community to then branch out and cause movement to go from there.
That sounds awesome. But my question would be is, how much does it cost, and what does that include?
Okay, so the cost of it is $299 per person, $299 per person. That includes your lodging, all your food. It includes transportation from the airport to where we're having it at the YMCA of the Rockies in Estes Park. So it starts Sunday, April 23rd. We have a bus going from the airport to the YMCA of the Rockies in Estes at 4:30 that day. So people come in on their planes. We give you transportation up there. We've got your food, lodging covered, and then it ends on Wednesday at 11 a.m. from the YMCA. We have another bus that takes you back to the airport to get there for your flights out.
Okay, but I'm really busy. Can I just come to part of it?
I would love to say yes, but the truth is we want you there. If you're gonna come, we want you there the whole time. This is something that we're not just looking for you to come in and check out one day of an event and then run out. This is a summit. We want not just you to come and gather from it, we want you to bring input into it. We want you to be invested, and this investment's gonna be well worth your time to give it the whole time. So truly would really like you to be there the whole time and not just try to poke in and poke out.
He's being nice. You gotta be all in, man.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, what else? What else do we need to know?
Can I bring my spouse?
Can you bring your spouse? Absolutely, you can bring your spouse, but here's the deal. It's $299 for your spouse, and your spouse needs to also be in the ministry working with you as a gospel advancing leader. If your spouse is wanting to come because they love Estes Park and they want to go shopping around that area, this is not the event for that. You guys can come for vacation some other time. But for this one, if they're with us on this event, they're going to be part of the event growing, and then we're hoping and expecting that they're going to be sent to work with you in that ministry.
So what does the schedule look like?
So the schedule, starting on Sunday night, when everybody gets there, we're going to have kind of a general get-together, kind of build some community together and just enjoy that time. And then starting on Monday morning and Tuesday, we have a schedule that we start in the morning. We got breakfast, of course, kicking right into our morning session, a breakout session, lunch, another breakout session, and then some free time after that in the afternoon, and then a final session, general session at the end of the day. A lot of content in that, but plenty of time to sit around to debrief from each piece of that, to get some rest time if you need to go and do some other stuff. Tons of activities there at the YMCA of the Rockies for people to do during free time. We've got 5 different breakout sessions. and then there's 4 slots. So the truth is, there's going to be 10 opportunities to go to breakout sessions, and there'll be like a few that you can't do all of it, but you're going to have opportunity to do a lot with that. So there's going to be even more than we've offered last year. Tons of new content, new things to learn, new things to be plugged into. And then general sessions are all brand new from last year to a new theme this year where we're looking at the life of Christ.
That's awesome.
I think you answered my questions. You got any more?
How about this? I have a question for you guys. You both went last year.
Right.
Why do you think a youth leader should come to this? And should they bring anybody? What should they do? What would be the best way for them to get the most out of this event?
I think for me, it's a huge encouragement, because if you're trying to implement the gospel advancing stuff, it can be hard. And I think just being in a room with like-minded people, in that there's a lot of communication, a lot of community where you can talk to people and share ideas and talk about best practices. So I think, man, just the energy of all of us being in one room, and then separately just having all those breakouts, and man, just that, finding like-minded people that, man, we're about the gospel, we're about advancing the gospel. How do you do it? This is what I've been doing. It's just, it's really, really valuable.
Absolutely. Nathan, what about for you? You had a different kind of experience last year.
Yeah, I really did. One, I have really struggled in one part of my ministry ever since I've become a gospel advancer. And from one of the breakouts, I can't even really tell you what happened in the main stages. I got really excited, but one of those breakouts I took home, and I not only implemented it in our ministry, but our entire network took that breakout and implemented it network-wide.
Oh, wow.
And what made that really cool is I had one of my network guys that I recruited to come with me, who was a gospel advancer as well, and it was really awesome to bring some of my disciples who are now at other churches, and we were all able to celebrate and collab together as we sat together and we ate. But not only that, but I was able to introduce them to people from all over the country and quite frankly the world, as they got to sit and learn from other gospel advancers and to be able to share what they have learned with those guys. And we were able to swap ideas the entire week. It was amazing.
So for you guys that have been, what's the difference between the Gospel Advancing Summit and a lot of the other youth ministry conferences or things that go on?
Well, as a gospel advancer, for me, I've been to a lot of conferences. Whenever I left the conference, I was frustrated at how much they almost got it. But when you go to the Gospel Advancing Summit, you are sitting with people that are doing what you're doing and excited about it. And so the level of engagement that you get, the level of specialized encouragement and tools is so much more efficient than at a normal youth conference.
Absolutely.
I think for me, it's about being focused on the gospel and that vision of how can we reach our city, how can we reach our county, how can we reach our state, like whatever context you're in. It's not just about 100 different subjects. It's pinpointed, laser focused on this is the gospel, we're advancing the gospel, and how can we get have an awakening through the gospel advancing values, man. So that's why it's so much different than anything else.
So you would say it's something that instead of it just being about, hey, here's my application within my own youth ministry context.
Right.
This is something that applies there, helps me there, builds me there, and helps me also see how I can be a movement maker leading this out around. That's incredible.
Exactly. Yep.
I love the fellowship time of just being able to sit. There was time designed in the program where people were just sitting at tables getting to know each other. And I felt like that was a huge win for the gospel advancing movement.
So what's something, like one moment, one thing from last year's summit that just really impacted you?
Yeah, I think for me, even though everything was awesome, for me the most special thing about the summit was rekindling old friendships. Just people I hadn't seen in a while, and then making new ones. Because there was a lot of familiar faces there, but also unfamiliar. And man, just connecting in that way in those one-on-one conversations was really, really good for me.
For me, they walk through white hot faith and then adaptive methods. And I've been doing gospel advancing for a really long time, but I specifically out of this conference, there was some fresh ideas both in the breakouts and from the main stage, that I hadn't heard in a long time, or maybe had never heard at all. And so I was able to really grab onto some of those things, and it revolutionized some stuff at home, both in my own personal family and in my ministry.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. That's an incredible thing. Well, Nathan, Chris, thanks so much for jumping on. I hope that you hear what I'm hearing and what I feel about this, that you need to be there. You're going to want to be part of this. You're not going to want to miss this. April 23rd through the 26th. It ends on the 26th there. So excited for this event coming up. You're going to want to be part of it. Bring people with you who fit within this as gospel advancers. We're really trying to fill the room with people that are running in this, that are leading the cause and leading the charge. April 23rd through the 26th in Estes Park, Colorado. We can't wait for you to be there. Register as soon as possible.